So today I wanted to look at some images sent in by Liminal Tyler. I think these images kind of speak for themselves. We start off here with this pretty typical dreamscape. We have a tiny little tree here and a cow. And then we have this distorted sky. The blue is so bright that it's almost unnatural. And then of course the sky actually has these little glitches in it. Not to mention the entire image has this kind of focal motion blur where it just kind of looks like the image is being shaken or you know, we're being zoomed very fast. And then you have the light in the middle here, which actually is accurate because the grass here is this is the brightest point in the grass, which is where the brightest point in the image is. We're gonna switch it up immediately here though with this. What do we got going on here? So we have the back rooms, and it appears to be in this like defragmented space. And when I say space, I'm referring of course to outer space. It looks like there's a little walkway, and then you can even see this little like oily planet in the background. And this isn't your typical space because, I mean, it's got these colorful blues and greens and reds rather than what you'd see just being a normal dark purple, dark blue. You got the little triangles that are all warping away, which I remember seeing a lot of these back when Infinity War came out. And people are just constantly doing memes of this. I'll probably put some up on screen. It's actually really interesting to see it used properly and not just as a meme, rather part of the piece itself. And then next we got this one, which is an edit of the iconic basement image, an image that I've always thought about having for a stream competition, and this honestly makes me think maybe we should, because I really like what Tyler did here. He filled in the space, but every single thing is some type of Weirdcore element or Dreamcore element. And then he highlighted the darker elements so you'd still see them and they're still prominent out of the window here. So it kind of takes place in its own little dimension. You even have some light going through the windows here. That looks really nice. And then you've got mushrooms growing on the stairs, but then there's actually the clouds overlaid on the stairs with some light beaming down through. And then there's this kind of ghouly, ghostly figure that's forming right here, almost like it's coming from the back area, and then also drawing from right here. We have this house on its own little island, and in the background we have on the right side another island, and then on the left we have a little cityscape. There's a big rainbow going over the entire thing. And then there's clouds spread across the entire image along with some stars, and it takes place in another spatial environment. There's even a shooting star towards the island on the right. At least I'm gonna assume it's a shooting star. And of course you have the house here being this focus, and the house, in my opinion, almost looks kind of ominous just because it's this super pristine, clean white. I'm getting some pareidolia with the top. It almost looks like a face, and it wasn't probably Tyler's intention to have it, but it just kind of exists because it's just a natural phenomenon. Oh, look at that. Now we've got some human elements going in, and it looks like this fake estate that someone is just kind of ripping a part of. And it's actually interesting to see that the fence even goes over. So the fence is an overlay for the entire image, and then we're actually on the outside. As you can see, it says no trespassing, keep out. And then I like how there's a little line here indicating that it's some type of skybox. Everything in the image is very blurry and very shaky and unfocused, except for the house in the middle here, which ironically looks the most fake. Like these trees and these hands in the sky, I mean, maybe not the sky, but the trees and the hands look very realistic, but the house looks very fake, almost like it's some type of 3D model, and I feel like it has something to do with the shading. The shading looks particularly wonky. I'm noticing that Tyler really likes to have the grassy open fields with the bright blue skies. I wonder if we'll see more of those as we continue. Speaking of, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one, and wow, this one is a complete turnaround from what we've seen before. Now we're in this like sandy hellscape. It's super dark even though you've got this sun beaming, and then there are these obelisks and pyramid structures. And then of course there's like a little floating island here with a ziggurat looking thing. There's ziggurat. This is probably my favorite one so far. I just like how it looks very horror based. The red sand just looks really nice. And I'm always a fan of deserty themed things, you know, like in Wizard 101, Crocotopia was probably my favorite world you could go to. I like the mysterious little object hidden in the sand here. It reminds me a lot of honestly the video I talked about most recently, the Pink Floyd music video, just because that has a lot of deserty imagery with a lot of red, so pretty interesting actually. Oh, okay, this is completely different as well. I've seen images like this before, so I'm gonna assume Tyler took some inspiration, but I like the molecules. That's unique. You don't really see that, and of course there's a spaceship here. You got these two cars driving on a road, and if I haven't talked about the technical aspect of Tyler's editing skills, this one is just proof that their images look so solid. I don't know what it is that they do to them, but they look so unique. Because of their uniqueness and their stylization, they look so complete, you know? They look like pieces of artwork. This one kind of has a film photo overlay again, but it's almost mixed in with the spatial elements, the outer space elements. So once again, you've got the bright blue sky and the greens, and then this one actually has a road similar to the other one with the winding. I'm almost wondering how Tyler did that, maybe with just some warping tools. But once again, the image has that circular blur motion. Okay, this one says, "You've been here before," and it's a door leading to another doorway, which takes you to a bright open sky. It's not the traditional square, and it's in a more realistic and grounded setting, and there's less blur. It's a very nice change up to see. This one just looks like it's a screenshot from a video game. We've got a bunch of buildings here, some with the windows on. It appears to be raining or sleeting. There's some trees here, and then there's this grass with the pathway. And then of course there's a stormy sky. Not much I can really critique analysis-wise, but I'm very impressed how they managed to make a whole entire cityscape here. Again, I thought it was like from a movie, but it's vertical, so it's not. It's just an image Tyler made, so good work, Tyler. Oh wow, look at that. This is a great one too. We've got some TV static, we've got some red grass, and these crimson-looking trees that are just very demonic, and the scary red sky. Again, being very dark, despite the sun being out. I like that. Definitely adds mystery and intrigue to the image. And then you have the gravelly road, which matches very nice with the deep crimson. All right, more signature curved roads. You've got this hillscape. I wonder where they got that from. And then it's very, it's got this like dreamy pink overlay. There's these like houses with their own little mountains that are sitting on these orbs with checkers on them, almost like they're their own little pocket dimensions as well. Like I can imagine like super jumping into them, and then you awake, and then you're in this area. You know, like you might be like in a dome of some kind where these houses exist. And there's a little castle in the background for where the where the road reaches. Some rocks and some trees, and if you notice here, there's even some checkered on the grass surface. Just a nice little detail. Almost makes me think like this matches with these, so maybe this has some checkered grass too. So some lore. So June 8th, 1999, or August 6th, 1999, depending on where you are in the world and how you read dates. And then it's this basement-esque, backrooms almost type setting. And you've got a chair, a drawer, a TV with accurate reflections even, and then a window here. And again, it's very grainy and noisy. I see straight lines, so I almost want to say there's a TV grill, but I'm not 100% certain. And the text, I would say, is very stylized. It's not just Arial or Verdana. It's this like weird metallic-y, and it's also 3D, and there's an overlay. Wow, here's a very abstract one. You've got these cloned houses. More windy roads, some stone pathways, and then a normal dirt pathway. And then you've got these little buses here, which the scale is messed with, so they look a little cartoony and a little goofy, along with the hills here. And again, the image has a film grain overlay, and even a lens flare coming from the sun here. And again, proper lighting is seen with the hills. You know, the highlights here and the shadows here, and just how it's layered. Stupendous work, Tyler. Oh my goodness, once again we have another nightmarish hellscape, with the road being dragged in here and then it kind of like melting into this one point with some houses sitting atop, looking very peaceful. Again, very dark image, but the sun is very bright, and then there's a volcano in the background, which I really like because I love volcano imagery. Like, my favorite area in Elden Ring was probably Mount Gelmir and just the Volcano Manor. And that's what I'm getting here is with this sky. Switching it up, we have a snowy scape, which I think is the first one of your images to incorporate snow. Again, we have some more house models. And then it looks like almost like it's like a military base of some kind. There's a snowman here with some trails, a water tower here. And then, of course, you have a nice starry sky with the moonlight. What else do we got? Ooh, here's something that's completely abstract. Got the white fences, some radiation warnings, and then it's very outer space themed, very alien-esque. Of course, you actually have outer space here with some planets in the background and some smokestacks having some green radiation coming out of it. And that's it. Okay, solid work. Thank you again, Tyler. I hope this analysis works well for you, because I know you said you were really looking forward to seeing my thoughts on these, and I really like all of them. If I had to pick some favorites, honestly, I like this one a lot because I love snowy environments. This one, I like the movement in it and the contortion. This one was really good. I love this one. This one is probably my favorite just because of the trees. It reminds me of old horror games, old indie games. This one was very well done. This one's very well done as well. I love this one. I just love the composition overall. This one's got a unique concept. Great, great work. And yeah, thanks again, Tyler. I really appreciate it. Would love for you to make some more, and maybe down the line we can take a look at some more of your work. If you have artworks like this or images you'd like me to cover, feel free to reach out to me. And as always, thank you for watching, and take care.